It absolutely blows my mind how I would say 90% of filmmakers out there are mounting their monitors to their camera. It's chaos to me. It's completely impacting the way they get all of their footage, and they don't even know how much it's changing their shooting style. Just throwing your monitor onto your camera like this feels like a good decision because it's very strong, but man, I could never shoot this way, and I'm gonna show you how I use my monitor setups. People are always asking because they're always seeing me with this device, this old ultralight arm that I beat the crap out of, but I've started just using the Kondor Blue Cine arm setup here. So I'm gonna show that on my FX6 and how to improve your monitor setup. So let's talk about this. But here's the genius of this. Why do I like this? Well, most people are stuck, like I said, with their monitor in one place. So then when they go up high, they're craning their neck and they're no longer connected to the image. What they end up doing most of the day is, because they want to be looking at the monitor face level, they hold the camera in the same place, and suddenly they're telling their story from a choice, from a level on their body that has nothing to do with anything. It's just, all right, this is where I film. And why? Why aren't you filming eye level? Why aren't you filming looking down? Why are we always filming looking up? Is that part of the story? Is that where you want to be? And it ends up just being the same footage that you've always gotten, and there's no thought to it. For me, as a cinematographer, as a director, I want to be the artist. I want to be control of the image. I want to decide where it goes. And I want flexibility. I don't care how big and crazy this looks. People are always saying like, what are you doing? What's that monitor arm? I do not care. You'll see I'm going to build up this rig in a second here, and it's going to look ridiculous, but it works. All that matters is the footage that's on the screen and that it aligns with the story I'm telling. That's all I care about. So if my camera looks a little crazy, so be it. I love it. I will never not use this setup. Why I also like this setup is, if you've ever been in a car and you're trying to get eye level with your person, suddenly we're up here and this monitor's hitting the roof and you know that you can no longer shoot higher. With this setup, I can always drop this down and drop it very low so that it lines up beside the camera. And honestly, a lot of the time I am shooting with the monitor beside here. And do you know why I'm doing that? It's because now the monitor is at the same height as the lens. So when I hold it up to my face, when I get my camera sack, or if I'm on an easy rig, I am now shooting eye level with my subject. I'm 5'10", kind of the average height, so a lot of people are around that. And this way, I can be looking eye level. You see most Hollywood films, they're shooting eye level. There's a reason why they'll use setups like this, because they're not letting the monitor decide the height of the camera. Why I also love this, when I'm shooting interviews, you'll see sometimes I'll be sitting in a seat and my camera will be up here. I drop the monitor down like this, or I turn it, and now I can look eye level with it, and I'm not breaking from my interview. I can just glance at this and look back to the subject. There's so many reasons to do this. If I have the camera low, it's on like a sandbag, or it's on a camera sack, and I want to put this up, boom. Now, my camera's down here, and I'm not bending down like a psycho, craning my neck. I can have the camera up here like a psycho, and I'm able to look at the shot from an appropriate height. Right now on my FX6, I actually have this cage sort of setup. It's from Kondor Blue because, like I mentioned, when I was using this speedball adapter, it was nearly ripping the screw off on this top handle. I'll just say too, I'm amazed how many people won't use the actual built-on Sony top handle for their FX6. They'll replace it with a cage or like a third-party top handle. I can't do that. I need all of this audio. I get 4 channels of audio with this top handle when I put on the extra mic pack there, and I want to have record. I want to be able to go through the menus. I actually like adding this cage, essentially. This just this little rail here that Kondor Blue has added, because then I can take this cine ball here, put this right on here, and just tighten this, and I can put it anywhere I want, but still right now it's not getting in the way. I might even move that a little more forward and get that nice and close. So again, it's all about picking up your camera with one finger and seeing where the balance is, and this is pretty much balanced right around there. So I can kind of hold this camera, and this is not tipping forward or tipping back. I always want balance, the least amount of effort possible. So I got my ball head here on this NATO clamp. It fits to this rail. It's nice and sturdy. Like I mentioned too, I already have this rail built on. I'm gonna grab this extension cine arm And I'm gonna add the clamp and another 6-inch magic arm. What's nice too with the Kondor Blue ones here is it doesn't come undone. Some of the old ones I've used like this eventually will unscrew and fall apart. This one, you don't actually have to move that wide and it can just stick in quickly so that I can then tighten that. And what's also nice with the Kondor Blue ones is you don't have to go full tighten and you can kind of maneuver it around still. This is, you'll see in a sec why that's so powerful to have. So I have my cine arm, I have this clamp. I'm gonna add one more clamp and then I'm gonna add my monitor. Obviously, normally I would have cables, but in this case, just so that you can see this set up a bit better, I'm not gonna have them here. Boom. And here, this is how I operate. Hi there. Do you like Place Beyond the Pines, Blue Valentine, Roofman, any of these films? Well, they're all directed by Cianfrance. And I'm completely blown away, but we have him this Friday in a live workshop that we're gonna be opening up to the public. This is part of the Art of Documentary Workshop Week. It's because our doors are open for just a couple more days. And we're gonna be having Derek talking about how you can take your story in your life and inject it into your films. How that is the key for directors and filmmakers to make breakthrough, memorable films. As I mentioned, this is part of our workshop week. You can check that down below. All of our courses are on sale right now, but we shut the doors for Art of Documentary on April 24th, and they won't be open again for another 5 months. So now is your last chance to be part of the Art of Documentary community. And if you're an AOD, you get to watch these workshops every month. They're usually exclusive for AOD members, but we're opening this up to the public right now. So make sure to get on that sign up to be part of that workshop. It's down below. And if you missed it, it's okay because you can watch it again in our industry expert calls, but that is only for our Art of Documentary members. Awesome. Back to more monitors. For me, there's a variety of reasons why I want to have this. And I should actually show you a really cool thing too. I used to have to screw my monitor with this clamp here. I would have to screw my monitor on there and then it would, again, like I said, eventually it would wiggle. The genius of the Kondor Blue setup is that they really stress the importance of not having any wiggle, not having any spin on your monitor. It's funny seeing people with those certain magic arms that you just screw down. This one right here, this one's crazy because eventually it starts spinning, and you've all been there if you've used one, and all of a sudden your monitor swings out and it feels like it's loosening or it's not going the way you need it. This setup, you never have to worry about anything spinning out of place. It's rock solid. My favorite aspect about it is this. Boom, monitor's off. There's a quick release setup here, so I can just slide this in, close that, boom, tighten that, and it's ready to go. I've never had that luxury. I'm used to unscrewing it, but man, what a world. Take that off. I can put this in my monitor, or rather in my camera bag, and then I can quickly pull this off. My camera is being broken down so quickly. And if I want to add it back on real quick, this is all happening in real time. I was just been using this now for like 2 weeks, and it bothers me because I just spent 2 years on the C-Bum film using this. I don't want to call it a hunk of junk because it's absolutely served its purpose, but this setup is really amazing. And what's really cool with the Kondor Blue setup is they have it pressure tightened, like I mentioned, so I can actually move this into position, and it's meant to do that you're not destroying it. They actually encourage you, so you can really finesse the tension. And also, bonus thing with this rig is that it has a rail setup here, so I was able to add the Sony monitor to the back of the camera. The Sony monitor is absolute trash for seeing focus and seeing your exposure, all of those things. To me, this is just a menu or touch screen, like if you're using a Sony lens that you want to actually touch the focus. So to me, I just want this back here. This is just a menu, and it's nice with this setup that I can get the monitor away from the front, so that for me as a right-handed person, I can have the Cine monitor anywhere I want. I just love to, it's like if I just loosen this slightly, I can really just maneuver this wherever I need it to, and it stays. It's great. One of the reasons why I've just transitioned over to all of this Kondor Blue setup is because I've been on calls with them for For the last year and a half, I have been designing my first camera product with them. I can't say much. There is an email list down below that you can sign up to be the first to know, but it is so exciting. The Kondor Blue people, they're all filmmakers. They're all DPs and cinematographers, so they get the gear. They're not just building it in a lab, they're building it in the field on set. And that's just been so fun to collaborate with them. I'm learning so much even about all this gear because they care about it so much. So when they saw me with my beat up Cine arm here, they suggested that I try some of their quick release setups, and I'm loving them. This is wild to have that quickness with my monitor. But let me show you, because like I said, I like bouncing my camera, which their monitor arm here, this is great balance. You want this balance so you're not fighting it, you're not using your muscles. A top handle should be able to be balanced with one finger. So now that I have this, let's actually kind of adapt it so we're in this world. Boom. We're gonna take this off. DDD. Put that there. I'm going to add this rail. Yeah, you could see, I could go full crazy Cine arm here, but that might be a bit silly for this whole setup. We'll still use this tiny little BM5. I was going handheld. Yeah, there we go. Nice and stable. There you go. I have this set up again now. I can move this wherever I need to. Bring it off the back. Let's say we're on a tripod. We need to see it further back here, or it's on a camera or car mount and I want to swing this around so I can see this. It also can help too if I want. If I'm finding that I need a lens to balance out. This is ridiculous, but I have my monitor all the way back here. You can see it's very back heavy, but if I had a big cinema lens, I would be starting to help balance that. But we don't need something this crazy big. We can actually get a little bit smaller here. Why don't I just release this, comes off, and we'll spin, boom, that to the side. And they have varying lengths of these arms. So this is the 6-inch. You can get like a 12-inch, I believe, or even just a little 3-inch. But again, suddenly I have just a little more flexibility, and you can get the exact same positioning that you would normally from it off the top handle. I know this kind of gets in the way of your top handle, but it's still very usable. You can move that forward if you want it out of the way. It's still working just as a top handle. I can get this up closer to my face so I'm not one of these guys bending down, craning my neck. It's just the funniest shot ever. Everyone's just going off their chest. This is just the classic filmmaker. Like, I got my shot. I don't know what the story is, but this is the right way of shooting. Like I was mentioning before, my setup would always spin and I would have to really retch it down, or you're just committing to your camera setup being a little bit shaky. The fun thing with all of these Kondor Blue setups is they actually have these, I don't know what you call these, they're like little posts. And why those matter is on all of their setups, all the rails, and even other cameras like the Small HD, you can see the Small HD even has those there on its setup, and these divots, when I use the right adapters, will stop there from being any play with that. So the same thing happens on the cage here. I have the 3/8, is that what that is? 1/4-20, I never know the names. Call me out in the comments. I'm just going to screw this in. Let's just put this up here so our top camera can see what we're doing. Boom, put that in. I'll grab an Allen key and just give it a little bit of a tighten. Boop. This is now nice and solid. I can actually use this to help film. And now we want a microphone. And for me, I want my microphone to be close to my subject. I don't want to be out there with my mic so far away that I can't hear them. Grab the silver one over here. We've got my mic. This is hilarious. This would look ridiculous, but honestly, if I'm by myself, don't have an audio guy, don't have someone with a big shotgun, I can add this down here. But now, here we go. Fully contained dock setup. And this mic, like I have all my mics, you want your mic, your shotgun, not actually pointed at someone's mouth. You want it coming from above their mouth, pointed down kind of into the chest cavity. That's where you're gonna get the best sound. So that's where I want my mics kind of pointed. So being able to come down from the top like this. This is great sound. This is for a very specific scenario. This is me following someone in a house, but I can also move this up. or if someone's talking to the side and I have my main subject mic'd, if I were to just change the tension here slightly, I could quickly move it forward, then move it back and be like, yeah, what's that guy saying? I haven't thought about that. That's kind of fun. So at the end of the day, it has to be what you're comfortable with. But the principle I want to communicate on this is that you need a camera setup that you're not stuck shooting at one height, essentially. If there's anything you take from this is your monitor dictating the way you shoot? Or are you going to adapt to that? If it's on a tripod, are you craning your neck and then not going as high? Or are you going to get a ladder and go up there? To me, if my monitor can go everywhere, then I'm actually going to push the camera to new places, and I'm not going to be worrying about the ergonomics of it because I'm going to be able to see it directly in front of my face. I like being immersed. It's like sitting on the front row of an IMAX movie, not quite, but I love having a Cine 7 on set. I want it to be big. I want to be looking directly into the image, seeing the focus, seeing the depth of field, seeing the parts of the image that I won't get to see until I'm in the edit. When I'm on a tiny, crappy little monitor, I'm missing so much. Some people would argue that it keeps you into the story. Sure, but I've made too many mistakes by now in my career because I was looking at a tiny monitor where I just don't want to risk that anymore. It's not my thing. Well, if you made it this far, let me know the guesses of what you think that product could be that I'm working with on Kondor Blue. I'll put links to everything down below. They are affiliate codes. This video is not sponsored by Kondor Blue, but I am collaborating with them on that coming up. So of course, I'm using all of their gear in this video, but you're gonna see it on any footage that I'm shooting coming up with my camera. I'll be on this setup because it's fantastic having my monitor to be able to go everywhere. Boom, it's back on. We're back in action. We're shooting 9x16. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.